tutorial on how to make the Pictures and Things application to introduce you to picture boxes, as well as printing your form and naming your objects. For starters, you need 4 images, and you need the PNG copy as well as the ICO version. So a good place to get those is the Icon Archive. I originally searched for animals, but you can search for whatever you want. Once you find the image that you want, scroll down, download the ICO version, save as, and I recommend that you make a folder called COM20S in your pictures folder. That will give you the ICO version, but you also need the PNG version, and at least 96 by 96, so you click on it, right click, save picture as, and again put it in your COM20S pictures folder. So now if I were to look here, I would have 2 copies of each picture. As you can see, I have butterfly.png and I have butterfly with an ICO. So you need 4 different pictures before we continue on. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to create a new project, and when given the choice, you will call it Pictures and Things. Pictures and Things. So under File, New Project, down here you would change this to Pictures and Things. After that, start with a single picture box. And this time I'm going to get you to name your objects. All objects should be named properly. One thing to note is that in the lifetime of a computer program, 80% of its life is spent on maintenance. Not the building, maintenance. And it's usually not the programmer who maintains it. So whoever comes in to look after your program needs to be able to follow your code. So you need to know how to document, and you need to use conventional programming standards, or they will kick your butt out of the company because you just cost them money because your code's hard to maintain. So you might as well learn right from day 1 or day 10, whatever day this is, about proper code conventions. So add a single picture box, and over here in the properties window I want you to call it pick 1. Pick is small p-I-C, and you can use the number 1. We will talk about the naming conventions later. For today, just put them in and see if you start noticing a pattern. So you will have pick 1, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4. Choose the smart tag of your picture box. It's this triangle at the top right. Choose your image. Choose import. And you will see, even though the word icon is in the name, it is not an icon. These are PNG files. So go ahead and load your picture box with your picture, and it will probably look like it doesn't fit. So what you do then is you choose the smart tag and you set the size mode to stretch image. Next, add another picture box. This one we'll call pick large, small p-I-C, capital L, small a-r-g-e, pick large. While you're there, you might as well set the size mode to stretch image as well. Next, add a label. This is a label. In this label, I named it LBL Info. I set the auto size to false. I did give it a back color so you could see it. And I removed the text. Okay, the last 2 things we're going to add right now for controls is a clear button and a print button. Starting with the clear button. The name of my button is BTN Clear, capital C only, the rest lowercase, BTN Clear. The text on my clear button is capital C ampersand LEAR. What's an ampersand, you say? It's on your number 7 key, also known as the AND sign. So the text of my button is C ampersand LEAR. What do you think the ampersand does? When you look at your button, you should see it. It puts an underline under the L. Well, let's do the print and see what happens there. Print is going to be BTN print, capital P only. The print button is BTN print, capital P only. The text for my print button is ampersand, capital P RINT. Ampersand PRINT. Now where's the underline on this one? So the ampersand does what? And what would the point of an underline be? Yes, they are quick access keys. How do you use a quick access key? Yep, Alt actually in this case. Mine's working, so I'll show you. If I hold down my Alt key and press L, or sorry, P, I get the print. Okay, these keys are important because people who use their keyboard at the computer rather than constantly touching the mouse are much more efficient and quick. Okay? Okay, for now we're going to leave these buttons and code them later. But what we're going to do is have it so that when you double click your first picture, ta-da, we want something to happen. And to make it easier for you, I'm going to delete all this and start from scratch. And we'll come back to this later as well. Don't worry about it, all this, I'll explain it all in this video. So when you double click your first picture box, it should bring you to pick1_click. What I want to happen is that pick large. Okay, now I'm going to stop. At this point, if you do not see pick large pop up the way I just did, you did not name your picture box properly. So you need to stop, go back out, choose the one that's supposed to be pick large, and name it properly right here. All right, so starting over. Pick large dot image is going to equal my dot resources dot, and then in my case it's the butterfly. Okay, so if you run your program and you click your first picture, ta-da, the butterfly should show up. Repeat that for the other images on your form. Okay, it's this code here. Pick large dot image equals my dot resources dot whatever. This part here is the same for all 4 pictures. Go ahead and finish that. So the next thing that would be good to happen is if our label, which should be named LBL info, again, if that doesn't show up, you didn't name it properly, go back and fix it. Dot text is equal to whatever you want to say. I'm just going to say butterfly for now to save typing. You can see from my project that's mostly done when I run it that if I click the elephant, my icon in the top left of my form also changed. So if I click the zebra, my icon's a zebra. If I click the ladybug, it's a ladybug. The butterfly isn't working because we haven't coded it yet. For that to work, everybody choose Project, choose Properties, second from the bottom, choose Resources. Here at this drop down, it's a good idea from here to choose icons. It will make life easier later. Okay, so choose icons from this drop down. Choose add resources and add existing file. When you go to your pictures, the icons that you downloaded will be the only ones showing up. The PNGs will not be showing. You can see here, it says icons. Control click will allow you to choose 4 at a time. Okay. At this point, I suggest you save your project with the Save All button. And we are done with the resources, so you could just close that window. The code for getting your icon to show up is me, which stands for the form, dot icon equals my dot resources dot, and then it's going to be the one that's the icon. So you may have to use Windows Explorer to get the correct name. Mine, I know, is this one. So when I run my program now and I click my butterfly, this time it became a butterfly, whereas before it did not. So once you have that working, go ahead and add an icon to each of your other 3 pictures. So at this point, when you run your program, each picture should change the picture large, should change the label, and should change the icon. So in reality, we often want to clear things. And when you want to clear things, you want to clear everything you changed. So to clear things, double-click your clear button. To clear the image, we say pick large dot image equals nothing. Note that I added a comment at the end. Comments turn green. They begin with a single apostrophe, and they are meant for the human programmer. The computer does not read them. They are meant to help the programmer understand what's going on. To clear the label, it's lblinfo.text equals nothing. And to clear the icon, it actually doesn't clear it to put it back to normal. We say me, which is the form, dot icon equals nothing. Some of the common errors, of course, will be the names of your objects. And really, in this case, that's about all that can go wrong. The next thing we want to do is code our print button. And that's a little different. In your toolbox, scroll down to the Power Packs, Visual Basic Power Packs. And you need the print form component. Double-click it. Under Visual Basic Power Packs, double-click the print form component. It puts it here in this gray area known as the component tray. To get your form to print, double-click your print button, and it's print form 1 dot print action. Use your tab key when necessary. Equals printing dot. Now, you have 3 choices here. What are the 3 choices? Print to file, print to preview, print to printer. I don't want you printing to a file because then I won't get to see if it works. I don't want you printing to the printer because it's a waste of paper. So we're going to print to preview. Your next line of code says, yeah, go ahead and print. So your print button will always take these 2 lines of code. Run your program, click your print button. And you should get print to preview. And the print to preview, if you actually did want to print, you could go ahead and print from here. But I don't want to waste the paper, so we'll just click close. And that's a print button. The last thing I want to do with you today is talk a little more about these comments. As your programs get larger and more sophisticated, you will need to write in more comments to explain what's going on. For now, I expect from each and every one of you 3 minimum comments at the top containing this information. So it's apostrophe, then your name, apostrophe, the project name, apostrophe, the date. Lastly, for you to note is that looking at your IDE, that's what this is, your Integrated Development Environment. Note to students, it is a term on your test. IDE, Integrated Development Environment. We see lines here between our different methods. But when we print, these lines don't show up. When we print, it's actually very unattractive. What I want you to do is put separator lines in, which is simply a comment with either an equal sign or a bunch of stars. You could do apostrophe, stars, whoops, that's not a star, stars like this, whatever you like. So that when you print your code, it actually separates, and you can copy paste your lines, separates each method on the paper. And that's the end of pictures and things for today.